All right, guys, I'm here with a good friend Zaldy here. Goes by Zebra as his DJ name. We met in Cosmic Academy in 20 earlier this year in January. Another Cosmic fam. Glad to have you on here. Yeah, so what's up, man? How you doing?
Dude, thank you for having me. I appreciate what you're doing, not only to the music community, but also to the cosmic community. I think this is a really good idea to one, get people aware of what they're doing, and two, just to, be able to kind of promote other people's music as well. So this is really exciting, and I thank you for having me as part of it, honestly.
Yeah, no problem, man. The main goal is just to, give a platform for artists to tell their story because I think the story behind the music is just as important as the music. Because anyone can make a banger, but if you feel connected to the artist, then it's more important than anything.
Well, I think too, like being inspired. I'm a music nerd. I'm a big music geek. So whenever I get to talk music with anybody, I can talk about it for hours on end. So I like learning the history. I like learning what people like and why it inspires them to make the music that they make. So yeah, I think this is fantastic, man.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much for being on here. So, just to get started, let's talk about like kind of how like where you got started in music and how it all began because I know everyone's journey is different, but the beginning is very interesting.
Yeah, so this is kind of a crazy, interesting story because I would say I got into music later in my life than the normal person, especially as a producer now. I feel like, I don't know, you've probably been into music for a very, very long time. Well, for me, it wasn't until 2017 when I moved to Los Angeles from Kansas was when I went to my first music festival. Like my
Mm.
friends made me go to this music festival and they were all kind of big ravers already. And I was like, before then, I couldn't care less to go to a concert. I was
Mm.
like, why do I need to go to a concert? I can listen to this on the radio. I can listen to this on my MP3 player. Like, why would there be a need for me to go to pay to watch someone play music that I already listened to? And then I go to a music festival and then it just clicked. I'm
Totally
like,
different.
okay, now I get it. It's all about that shared experience. You're there with other people who like the same music as you. And for you to be able to share that moment with complete strangers and just have a great time with it, that's when I was automatically hooked. So ever since then, I started to listen to a lot more EDM. And it wasn't really until, I don't know, 2019 was when I may have dabbled into producing and I realized producing is hard.
It's hard.
And not just like hard, like really, really hard. And so I quit because I'm like I'm way over my head. I downloaded FL Studio and
Mm.
I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Pandemic hits, and obviously, it kind of messes up a lot of people. But like as far as the origin, that's kind of where it started. It wasn't until maybe what, a year ago where I was like, let me try this DJ and music producing thing again. Let me actually take it seriously because I was up to a point where in my career, I was comfortable enough with my job to where I had some free time outside of it to be able to actually invest in DJing and producing. And then that's when I got into Cosmic Academy, and that's when I met you, and that's when I met everybody else, and that's
Yeah.
when I was immediately inspired and I started to get why people really invested themselves into making this music because that community itself, it's such a great community.
Oh, 100%. Music brings people together. So when you started, you said in 2019, that's when you first started going to raves, or that's when you first started like dabbling into producing?
2019 was when I first started kind of dabbling. And the funny story is I was a hard summer, which I'm sure you've been to in
Yeah.
Los Angeles, or it was in San Bernardino at the time. I was like, there was a moment of clarity where I was watching someone performing, and I'm like, I want to be that guy. Like, I want to
Uh,
be that guy.
that bug
And
bit you.
so, yeah, right. It was just like, I think I could be that guy. And so it was funny because, my name is Zebra. And the reason why it's zebra is because I don't know, I'm like my spirit animal is a zebra. Now
Mm,
my name is Zaldy and people call me Z and I'm just like that's what it is. My best friend's fiance at the time actually was the one that coined the term because we she knew that I like zebras, but what if she said like what if you spell it Zee Bruh, like zebra.
Bruh, yeah.
That's it. That's brilliant. And so ever since then, I kind of just stuck to the name. But then, like I said, I produced for a little bit. I quit, and then just moved around. A lot of life things happened, as you know,
Yeah.
someone kind of goes through. And then it was about time I just kept trying to come back. Like something kept bringing me back. Like
Mhm.
it felt like someone was trying to like, hey, you need to like actually give this a try. And so, yeah, 4 years later, I was like, all right, let's try to do it and let's actually put some time into it. And now I think I'm making some progress. I'm still quite a beginner, I would say, but I think everybody was at some point, right?
Oh
So just
man,
gotta keep going at it.
yeah, I started in 2021 and just stuck with it all the way through. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna improve. And the
Yeah.
only way you're gonna get better is consistently always learning and just keep doing it over and over. And then after like 5 years you do something, you'll figure something out. Something will
Yeah.
click and you'll be like, oh my God, like why didn't I think of that like earlier?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then, I mean, based on what I see in the background, man, you have some guitars back there. Your studio is crazy. So, I mean, let me ask you, like, what kind of musical experience did you have before you really wanted to get into producing?
It's funny because I've always growing up, I was always into music, starting from like junior high into the punk rock scene, emo scene, and then
Sure.
always hip hop, of course. And I think I went to my first rave in, oh my God, I feel old now, 2005.
Okay, okay.
And I was just going to have fun, like going out with my friends, going raving, listening to EDM. Never in my like world I would thought I would be making music until 2021. I was going to music school to get an accounting degree, and I think I bought that guitar right there
Yeah,
during COVID, and I was like, I want to learn how to record music. Once I started to learn, download Logic, my friends bought me Logic Pro for my
yeah,
birthday and just dove headfirst into it. All the YouTube videos and just learning everything you can, mixing and mastering, producing. The bug hit me. And
yeah,
then I was making hip hop first. And then, with hip hop, you kind of, it's just a beat. You need to find artists. So I was like, I'm gonna start doing house music. Just fell in love with house music. Never looked back ever since. And after a while, I'm like, I need to grow more. So join Cosmic Academy. And that's how we met.
yeah. No kidding. What an interesting transition, though. You go from hip hop to house music.
I think it kind of goes hand in hand
I
because I,
mean,
I mean, as producers, we just love music in general.
sure.
So like, I mean, I seen a couple of your videos. I'm pretty sure you had like an emo stage. You're doing your remixes and all that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was a huge part of my life. My number one band is Linkin Park.
Mm,
R.I.P. Chester. And I
yeah.
still haven't seen them live. I'm gonna see them live for the first time in August here in Kansas City. Super excited about it. But like growing up, I don't know how I came upon it. I think honestly, like obviously we all listened to the radio
Hmm.
around that time because we didn't have iPods, we didn't
Yeah, there
have
was no
streaming
Spotify back
services,
then.
right? And so back then, what was on the radio was a lot of like emo punk music. You talk about Linkin Park, Green Day, All American Rejects, Fall Out Boy, Blink 182. So I'm pretty sure at some point, unless you just stuck to straight like country music, and even then, everyone listened to that music, or everyone had some sort of time in their life where we all call it an emo phase.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was never a phase because ever since 2002, I moved to America 2000, and that's when I started listening to like American popular music. But ever since 2002 until now, that's all I mean, that's a lot of what I listen to, and that's a lot of my inspiration. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to kind of incorporate it into my music a little bit. I'm making a few remixes here and there. But I do think that there is a pipeline between liking emo music and liking certain type of EDM music. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Oh yeah, definitely like the Millennium type, like because I
Yeah.
always say music's a vibe, a feeling. I mean,
Yeah.
even it is a feeling, a vibe. All music is. So you can kind of connect those two, just like how you feel about it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. And it's great. God, I love music.
Dude, I'm so glad you're here. We all love music. Music is it's life now. It's part of our life. It's never gonna go away. Even for you,
Yes.
you said you kind of went away from it a little bit, but it just came right back to you, you know?
It just keeps bringing me back. I always say that music is the number one thing, is the one thing that's never failed me. Like, and that sounds pretty deep, but it's just like you know, you feel sad. You listen to sad music, you feel better. You're
Mhm.
happy. You listen to happy music, you feel even better. It's just like one of those things where like music and how it makes you feel, it's something that you remember. You know, one of the questions that always gets asked when just like random icebreaker questions is what is the one thing, what is one sense that you could get rid of and you'll be okay with it? And I've heard a lot of people say they're okay with getting rid of like hearing. And I'm like, what? Absolutely not. For me, it would be my sense of smell.
Yeah.
It's like I think even though that also takes away your sense of taste, but we won't go into the
Yeah.
weeds of that. But I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no way I can get rid of my sense of hearing because can you imagine? I mean, like obviously there are a lot of people who are just unfortunately deaf, but I'm just like, man, like music is my life.
Uh,
Like,
i- if you
and
if you ask
and
me
as
that, I would probably say mute, so I don't have to speak. I'll express myself through music, and I can hear
well,
it. You know what
I
I mean?
get that part too. But you also lose your sense of taste though.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
would
love
you be
food.
okay with that? You be okay with
Gotta
that?
make sacrifices, man.
You're right. You're right. You're right. But yeah, no, I mean, it's been part of my life for a long time. Even before I went to like a rave, it was just like I can't go a day without listening to music in some way, shape, or form, you
Well,
know?
100%. I think
So
music is
yeah.
part of everyone's life, no matter how old you are, when you started listening to music. Like even as a kid growing up, maybe your parents were playing some type of music you're listening to. And I mean, your friends, even like during like junior high, elementary, high school, they might be listening to punk rock or like, I don't know, EDM or whatever it is. That kind of gives you, it kind of just shows you like what they're listening to and you kind of vibe with it if you like it or not.
Yeah. I
So there's
agree.
influences. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I agree too. And I'm like my main job is film, like I'm a filmmaker and I make a lot of videos. And you would think that in that medium, the most important thing is a video. But the very first thing that I do when I make a video is find the right music to
Oh,
fit the video. Because that
100%.
because that's what makes people one feel emotions. And two, that's kind of what they remember. I mean, sure, yeah, like obviously you need video for
Yeah.
video. But for a video to be remembered, it has to have the right tune and it has to have the right theme. And how you find the right tune and the right theme, you find the right music, find the right song. And that's just the way it works.
It's dude, like when I make my reels, after I make my video, then I have to find the song that matches the vibe, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, it's more of I have to make the idea first, the content, and then find the
Mhm.
right sound that goes well with the video.
Yeah. You should try the other way around.
Yeah,
You should try like finding the right sound and then making content based off of that sound because that's well, I do it, I mix both sides where I have a really good concept and then I'm like, okay, I can find the right song for this. But if you find the right song and kind of just figure that out, and I know what you're talking about because like especially when it comes to Instagrams, TikTok, they have ways for you to add music on there. But I would suggest actually trying to find the music first and then seeing what you can do based on that song, and seeing what you can come up with. Just try it. You never know.
yeah, definitely. It's always good to try new things because if something doesn't work, you just have to adjust.
Yeah.
Don't not be stubborn, like keep doing it over. They say insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting different results.
Yeah.
I live by that quote, man.
Yeah. I've been told that too many times
Yeah.
lately. And that's probably not a good thing, but it's nice to be reminded once in a while too.
Yeah. Well, talking about social media, like, how do you feel about it? Like, I know you said you're a filmmaker, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I know social media kind of comes a little bit easier for you to like create videos and just the editing and the sounds.
yeah.
Like, what are your struggles with social media? Because I know a lot of people struggle with it.
So social media has been a part of my life for at least, I don't know, 15 years now. I've had to do it for, personal reasons. I've had to do it professionally, and then I've had to do it for musically as well. And it's just changed so much to where now you're basically, I don't want to say like you're a slave to the algorithm. And
Hmm.
it's very unfortunate because like how social media works these days, especially to just regular consumers, is, everyone has their own algorithm. I'm sure whatever you see on your Instagram is your algorithm, whatever I see on my YouTube is my algorithm. And it's just hard to be able to find a way as a creator to fit yourself into that algorithm, at least in the very beginning. Once you start kind of understanding how it works, then it becomes easier. However, as a musician, it just limits you to a very specific channel that you're supposed to go on just to be able to please the algorithm. So, for example, like for me, I DJ, I'm a music producer, I'm a filmmaker. I want to be able to kind of incorporate all of that into the content that I'm making.
Mm,
However, my kind of, I don't know, genre is just so broad to where instead of reaching everyone, instead of trying to reach everyone, it kind of reaches nobody because it is too broad.
yeah.
And what you have to do is you have to just have to narrow it as small as possible to where you almost have to think of like for you, Paulie, like what does Paulie's algorithm look like? And you have to be able to conform yourself to try and fit that algorithm, which means you have to work harder to
Hmm.
make sure your content fits that genre that Paulie is listening to. And as a musician, I mean, we just want to make music, right? Like
Yeah,
we just
exactly.
want to focus on that part. And I know social media is a big part of the business these days, especially when it comes to marketing. But like that's just another job itself. Like producing is already hard enough, man. We got to think of
Bro,
ways to just like fit the algorithm with our content, hashtags, and
we're literally
it's
working like
such
24/7.
yeah, man, it's such a love-hate relationship to where like if it hits, like if you get like a reel or something that like does well, it feels good. But then when you get a reel that you think will do well and
It never does well.
does nothing, but I'm like, man, that's like a shot to the ego, like self-esteem goes down. So like I understand that that's the primary way that consumers consume content these days. And I know producers hate it.
Oh, dude,
Some
a lot
producers
of
like
people
it.
hate it.
Not saying all
Yeah,
producers
not
hate it, but
most.
a decent amount, especially now, because like they just want to focus on making the music and they don't want to have to focus on, putting themselves out there and finding a way to appease the algorithm and all that. Like what you've done pretty well. I mean, you have a decent following. Kind of what made it work for you? Like
Um,
what would you say was like the light bulb moment?
to me, like when I first started, after a year of learning how to produce, I knew how to use social media as a tool to put myself out there because everyone's using it, everyone's on it. But the way I got my followers was one viral video. It got me like 4,000 followers.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so that's how I got the following. But my problem was when I first started, I was trying to just posting to post. But
Yeah.
like you're saying, like you have such a broad audience. The biggest thing I would say is you gotta narrow it down and focus on your target audience.
Mhm.
Let's say you're a house you do you're a house producer. You want to target people who listen to house music. But the problem is, what kind of content do I make to target that audience?
Yeah.
And then you can try like, try 10, 20 and none of them hit. You're always adjusting. You're always trying to figure out what's going to work and what doesn't. And by the time you might figure it out, the algorithm might have changed. And and
Right?
then there you go. Then you got to restart over and figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think the most important part of the social media is try everything, be consistent.
Yeah.
And once you figure it, once something works, double down on it, like triple down on it, and just keep doing that until it doesn't work, and then figure something new out.
Yeah.
It's so
I,
hard,
I I
man.
agree with that. It's just hard because I mean like especially for at least a lot of the DJs that I know. Now we all have our full-time jobs too.
Mhm.
So like trying to fit full-time job, producing, DJing, social life, and then regular like life things
Yeah.
and then social media with that it's
Like
it's
I
it's a
said, man.
grind. That's
Yeah.
why that's what weeds people out, so I get it. But then like you're constantly posting and then it's just like okay, this works, let's go this way. Oh, suddenly it's not working. So we go a different way. Oh, okay. Like it's a never-ending kind of cycle to where you're just trying to do your best, consistently post, hope something works.
Hmm.
And then eventually, I don't know, you get big, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's like they say, you need that one song to blow up. Maybe you need that
Yeah.
one post to like get things going.
Yeah.
But consistency is the most important thing. And that's why I don't overthink my content. You see my content. It's very simple, straight to the
Yeah.
point, like 15, 20 seconds. Like maybe take me like 30 minutes to make. That's why that's why I'm able to do it like once a day.
Yeah.
So the whole editing, like taking too much because it's not worth the effort sometimes. Because
Yeah.
if you spend 2 hours on a post and you post it, it gets no engagement. Like nothing happens with it. I'm just like it's kind of wasting my time. And
Yeah.
time is everything. Time's something you can't get back.
No. So do you believe in more quantity versus quality when it comes
I
to social?
think quantity versus quality at first.
Yeah.
And then once you start seeing, you rewatch your videos and sees, oh, this one worked. This one did pretty good. And then you double down on that.
Yeah.
So I think you need quantity first just to like feed the algorithm and kind of
Yeah.
learn like what's been working for you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for a month, I kind of slowed down a little bit this week, but for a month, I was posting every day. And it's not just like, it's very thoughtful
Yeah, your
posts.
posts are
Each of
very
it.
great, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was really
And
good.
then, I work hard and it's like, I'm like, man, is this worth it? And then you get one that hits. I'm like, okay, it's worth it.
Yeah.
And then you get one that doesn't hit. I'm like, you go back. Is it worth it again?
It's seriously, it's
So
just back and forth. It's back and forth.
yeah, it's a never-ending fight, man. It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
But we got to do it. We got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like Justin said in the Cosmic Academy, he's like just 3 to 5 posts a week, like every day. I've been posting like almost every day for probably like it's been like 3 years, man. It's
Good for
it's
you,
it's,
man.
it's a lot,
How do you not
but
get burnt out?
I do get burnt out. But then the best thing to do when you're burnt out is just take a break, step away
Okay.
from social media, music, anything, and just do something else.
Okay. That's kind
So
of where.
yeah, breaks are important. Even with music production, dude, just if you're feeling
Yeah.
stuck, go for a walk. Just step away from that project for like a day or two, or get feedback or something. Just step away. I think that's the best way because I think as creators, music or content, we're overthinkers. We're a little bit perfectionists a little bit.
Of course.
So the best thing to do is step away and just
Yeah.
refresh your mind, refresh everything. It's like hitting the refresh button or restarting your computer,
Yeah. I mean, but then, if you don't post for a while, the algorithm's like, all right, you forgot about me. And then,
That's what you
so
think, but I don't think that's really
you think
true.
so?
I don't
Okay.
know. It depends because when we joined Cosmic Academy, I didn't post for that whole 5 weeks of when we
Yeah.
were in school. And when I got back to it, it did slow down, but it just it just all depends on your content and what the algorithm chooses to show and not to show, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's just so annoying to fighting an algorithm. Like literally a
Right.
robot.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like, it's like taming like a lion, right? It's just like once you have it, then it's easy.
Hmm.
But then it's like 90% of it is trying to figure it out. And the 10% is once you figure it out, then that's kind of smooth sailing. But everyone just has like, because you always talk about, obviously, me, I searched YouTube videos upon YouTube videos on how to
Hmm.
try to figure it out. And each one of them saying, this is the line. Everyone does it for the longest time. And then eventually it's a very exponential rise. And so I'm like, okay, I'm waiting.
Yeah, right. When is it
Like,
gonna come?
come on now, come on. And then some videos you wouldn't think. Like I just posted like a video of me like headbanging. I'm like, this is just to post. The next thing you know, that's the one that blows up. So
It's
it's
when you
just like
least
the most
expect it.
confusing thing. Right? Yeah, it's the most confusing thing.
That's why I say just keep posting, keep going, and like they say, eventually something's gonna hit.
Yeah,
And like consistency, it's all about consistency. That's why people burn out. They do it like they do 10 posts and you're just like, okay, this isn't working. Like
yeah.
10 posts is nothing. I literally posted like 820 times in the past 3 years. I'm still going, man.
Yeah, dude, props to you, man.
Yeah.
Like good, I guess that's so many people, and I'm not there, but so many people just quit once they get discouraged. just based off numbers. But
Same thing with
again, man,
music production, man. Like
yeah,
this is even when I first started, I was like, this is not an easy journey. I already knew it. I'm gonna try my hardest and just keep going and doing, get better at music production, post on social media, connect with others and all that. I mean, that's why I joined Cosmic Academy. So I guess we can talk about Cosmic Academy because that's
sure,
where we met.
yeah.
What was your idea to join a program? Like, what got you into Cosmic specifically, and what was your thought process like? I need to join an academy to just learn.
Yeah, so when I finally committed to, investing into music and whatnot, I just started up as DJing. And I loved it. Like I love DJing, I love putting sets together, I love putting music together, and that is a majority of kind of my skill set is a lot of production, is like programming lights, programming lasers, programming visuals, and then putting all that together to put together a show. um that's what like I'm used to. That's what I think I'm pretty good at. And so I did a show in Irvine, California, and it was like my first headlining show where I put all that together just to see if what I got was like good. And so I invited a lot of my friends, and they said that, and these are people who have raved for a very long time.
Mm.
And so these are people's opinions who I highly regard and I highly respect. And so if I can win them over, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure their expectations were pretty low when they first went to my show.
Yeah.
And then just to see them absolutely mind blown, and they were like, dude, like that was great. The vibe was amazing. That gave me the kind of okay to kind of keep going. And then one of my friends who actually opened for me during that show, he was like, "Hey man, the best way to keep climbing the ladder is producing your own music."
Oh, 100% agree.
And so he said, and once he said that, I was like, "All right, so let's really start to take producing seriously." And the reason why I quit 2019 when I first dabbled into it was, everyone looks at YouTube and that's how they learn. But then there's no direction on YouTube. You're getting all this information, but there's no way to kind of categorize it. It's just like information overload. And it's just
Hmm.
like, okay, like, is this the right information? Is this the information that I'm supposed to learn to be able to get to where I'm at? I needed some sort of direction. And so that's when I started looking into possible programs. And um when it comes to programs, it's just like what's good, what's not
Yeah,
good,
there's so
what's
many of them.
worth it, and there's quite a bit,
Yeah.
right? And so when I stumbled upon Cosmic, I saw the website. Someone actually suggested it to me. And so I was looking on Reddit because that's where you kind of find a lot of unfiltered reviews, you
That's how I
know?
found out too.
Exactly, right? And so I was looking it up, and people were like, no, this is legit. You get to be part of the community, like a really good community. And so I was like, all right, I'm ready to kind of invest myself, and then I inputted the form, I applied, talked to Zach right away, and that's kind of just how I got into it.
Wow. So it's funny because how I found out from Cosmic, I think they commented on one of my TikTok posts like early when I first started posting. They was like, love this or something. Saw their page,
Oh,
went to their YouTube, their website, and I was like, wow, their branding is so good.
yeah.
And like Justin, he's you know how he talks. His voice is just very, I don't
Oh,
know,
it's
something about his voice
nice.
is so
He's
calming and like I like it.
He's a very good he's a very good public speaker, and I commended him on that because the way he teaches, because I, like again, like I'm a public speaker myself,
Mhm.
but the way he teaches and the way his voice fluctuates, it's very natural for him, but it gets you like interested. You're so like, I don't know, invested into what he says based on how he says it.
Mhm.
And it's a very, very good way of teaching because it sounds like everything that comes out of his mouth is the most important thing we'll learn that day.
I totally agree. That's why I love watching their YouTube channel when they post. I'm just like, I rewatched their like videos maybe like 3 times at least, just because, it's so good
Yeah,
and what
yeah,
they
and it's
teach is
great
amazing.
information. It's like information that you just wouldn't find. anywhere else, you know? Like a lot of people maybe gatekeep some of that info and they're
Oh,
kind of just like, hey, here you go. Like this is how you do it. This is how you mix. This is how you choose the right kick. This is how you know, sound design and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you learn quite a bit.
definitely. I think the biggest thing about Cosmic for me is the community after,
I
right? How do you
agree.
feel about the community? Because I know we're still new and there's lot more people to meet, not a lot more people to grow with and just connect with. But
Yeah.
how do you feel about the community? Because for me, it's everything. That's why that was like my main thing I kind of wanted to join.
Yeah. So I love that you asked that because like I'm not gonna lie. Before I joined Cosmic, I thought the music producer world and the DJ scene was a lot of cutthroat, right? Like people dog eat dog, every man for themselves, that type of thing. And so the very first day of Cosmic, you know, we're all in that Zoom room, all 15 of us
Mhm.
and we're kind of like sizing each other up. Not like I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of was like, look at these guys, look at these, like who do they think they are? Like I don't know why, just because that's just what I thought the music scene was. It's just very cutthroat. And then I see people like I see Paulie with guitars in the background. I'm like, man, he's got such a cool backdrop. He's probably way more expertise than
Not even
me
close.
and all that. And like Sammy had a cool background. And so I felt very intimidated. That
Mm,
very first day, I felt very intimidated because for me, for sure, like I was a beginner. And I just didn't know as much music production as I'm sure everybody else did. It wasn't until honestly, and this sounds bad, probably halfway through when we started to critique each other's songs.
feedbacks.
Yeah, exactly. That was when it kind of started to click for me that it was just like, okay, this is like a kind of like a very supportive community to where everyone wants to see you succeed. You're not really competing with one another. You're kind of just like happy for everybody and you're happy to help each other out. You're happy to share your feedback, but you're also like happy to share your music to people who, you know, also have interest in it. Because when it comes to trying to get feedback for your music, you could you know, obviously share it with your friends, have them listen to
It's a
it.
different feedback though.
It is though. They're like, oh, that was good. Like, this is such a cool song, bro. You
Yeah.
know, it's not the feedback that you want to hear. You want to hear specific feedback. So it wasn't until that first round of feedback to where it started to kind of really click for me as far as the community goes. But even then, I was still kind of a little bit hesitant. It the 100% time where I was bought in was when I went to Miami and I
Oh,
went to Justin's barbecue, and that's when I met everybody, talked to everybody. That's when I was like, okay, now I get it. Like now I see what this community is about. And I networked and learned about so many people and met just the coolest people there that I still like message and talk to quite a bit. And I think that's the reason why you join Cosmic. Obviously, the educational content is great, but that community right there is a big reason why it's so successful, in my opinion.
no, I 100% agree. I had a podcast with Sammy. We talked about the community, like the music production and the branding marketing part that Justin and Zach teach. 5 weeks is such a short amount of time. And
Yes.
yeah, you do learn like some things, the basic stuff that you should know. But
Yeah.
after when you join the community, like everyone who I've talked to at Cosmic, just very supportive. I
Mhm.
can just DM them; they're down to help me out. Like we have feedback sessions 3 times a week. If you go there
Yeah.
and send, you get the best feedback or just any feedback that you need to help you. So the community is literally everything Cosmic, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, dude.
So
That
awesome, man.
those feedback sessions are clutch. Just
Yeah.
because like you don't get that. And if you're an independent producer and you don't have that community, who are you gonna send your music to?
Yeah, I mean, you could send it to
And
like other producers and stuff, but
yeah.
it's like if I send you a song every week, be like, Zaldy, could you give me feedback? It's kind of like, damn it again.
Yeah, right, right.
It
But
gets too
then
much.
even
Where's the threshold?
exactly, and it's just like one person. Like
Yeah.
in those feedback sessions, you get multiple people.
Dude, there's like
Sometimes like tens people,
Yeah, like
you
15, 20
know?
people sometimes,
Yeah,
and you got all of them like giving constructive criticism on your song that everyone needs.
yeah, yeah. It's still kind of nerve-wracking though for me as a beginner to
Oh, me
do
too.
that because you just hear the music that other people
Yeah.
are putting out. Like, man, that's good. Ooh.
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
like,
hard to
here's
give
me like,
feedback.
I
That's what I'm
know.
learning. It's hard to get feedback where I'm just like trying to be constructive of like what he can improve on or stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I think it just takes time. You just I don't know if you've been going to too many feedbacks because I kind of missed out a lot.
yeah,
I need to start going to more and just, like trying to be in the community. I think that's the whole thing. Be
I
part of
think
the
so.
community because it's there for us.
I
You like
agree.
use it. Oh, I gotta
Yeah.
ask you, how was the Cosmic Barbecue?
Well, so again, like it was my first time. And so whenever you do something for the first time, especially when you're coming into a group and you feel like the outsider,
Mm-hmm.
it was very, very nerve-wracking. Because obviously you know Justin, you know Zach, you know Bexy, and then you might know other classmates that were there.
Hmm.
But once you're there, everyone's just kind of just so inclusive and it's not as scary as you might think because you know, people are there. They're almost in the same similar situation as you are, even though they might have been to the barbecue before, or they've been in a class just one or two classes before you. They're still kind of new. And it's not like it's you trying to get into a circle. It's just like a big circle in which everyone is trying to kind of just I don't know, figure themselves out and kind of just like vibe with whoever. So it was very welcoming environment. Um, honestly, when I saw Hazar, when I saw Avi, and then Joe met up later, it was kind of surreal because all you see from them is them in a Zoom screen.
Yeah,
And just to
exactly.
see them in real life and talk to them and kind of because we didn't really get a chance to kind of talk to each other
Hmm.
during class, really, you know?
No, not really.
And and so when you see them, you're like, you just feel like, oh, what's up, dude? And you give them a hug and you just talk and you vibe. It was great. And I met so many cool DJs. I actually was able to connect with one who lives in Kansas City.
Nice.
Because I knew he was part of the program, but I never really connected with him. But he was there, and so I introduced myself, and now we're connected here. And I've been to a few of his shows, and he's a really dope DJ. But yeah, it was good. The food was great. Where Justin lives is sick in the middle of downtown Bayfront, Miami.
Yeah, I
Sick
saw the
view.
pictures.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I see you, boy. I see you, dog. But yeah, it was like I'm I was super glad that I went
Mm,
because again, like I told you, that's what made it, that's when I fully bought it. Because before then I was like, I don't know, like
skeptical, right?
what to. Yeah. But then after that, I was like, okay, I get it. Like I get what this community is about. Let's take this seriously. Let's do it. So it was
Um,
amazing. And I'm sad you missed it, but you should definitely try to go next year.
yeah, next year for sure. Just it was a little too soon after the what you call the boot camp ended. But
Yeah,
I
I get it.
really like what you said where once you saw them in person, like met like face to face, it's just that you made that connection, you know what I mean? I always used to say this to a lot of people where like you can meet people, anyone online, but once you meet in person, that connection is there for real.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm
that's
sure you
super
felt that.
important.
I'm sure you
Hmm?
felt that too when you met Sammy in real
Oh
life, right?
yeah, because I
Yeah.
know we both live in LA, so we went to the show to watch another Cosmic alumni like perform. So I met
Yeah.
him too. I met that guy too, and then Sammy too, and just that personal connection is like real.
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah.
I like this community because like you kind of like what you said, where we're literally in this big circle all in together and we all have the same goal and we're all supportive with each other, which is
Yeah.
you need that support.
You do. Because
Yeah.
as music, the music industry is kind of a scary industry. You're putting yourself out there and you just don't know if your stuff is like good. And so when you just have people to be able to support you, whether if it's like critique or whether if it's like, hey, this is a banger, you should keep going.
Mhm.
It's nice to be able to have that. So yeah, Cosmic was one of the things where I was like, okay, like I'm super appreciative of what they've built over there and excited to kind of see it grow even more. for
Oh yeah,
sure.
100%, 100%. I mean, there's like nine plus 900 students or alumni right now,
Yeah.
and it's just growing more and more every couple months. It's
Yeah.
exciting, man. I'm so excited to see just everyone in the community just grow and see where this leads them. Because I mean, for me, I mean, I got into music production. I was like, oh man, I want to start a podcast. I got all these cosmic alumni that I can
Mhm.
interview and put it on the pod to share their story, you know? And let's
Yeah.
see where this leads me. Like, who knows? And it's just exciting. I think it's just really
Yeah.
exciting for
And
everything.
again, I think it's a great idea that you have. If you're going next, yeah, I think because I was actually in Miami for a bachelor party. So I went to Ultra
Oh,
for a bachelor party. So it kind of just like ended up working out somehow. But I think I'm gonna try to go next year. But instead of going to Ultra, I'm just gonna do like Miami Music Week
mm.
just to be able to support a lot of the smaller DJs. Because I know Bexy actually had a set, her and Yuri did, and it was in the middle of Saturday, and I would have loved to go, but then like it was day two of Ultra, and my group was going to Ultra, so I was like, ah,
Oh.
I
So you
paid
went
for
there for a
Ultra.
bachelor party and you had you guys as a bachelor group, you guys went to Ultra together.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's what happened. Yeah, I
yeah, yeah.
definitely want to go for Miami Music Week because even like Justin says, it's the best networking.
Mhm.
And I just want to like just meet all the Cosmic fam and just go network. I think that's really important
Yeah.
and just build connections with people
Mhm.
because music's all about connection, right?
I agree, man. I agree, and I love it.
Yeah. That's amazing, dude. So let's talk about like your DJ, like your DJing. Like how'd you get into that?
DJ?
Yeah, like
So I don't know. I'm a vibe curator. I like to
we're
think
all
of
vibe
myself,
curators if we're in
right? Like
music. I'm
exactly. So
glad you
I'd like
said
to
that.
think that when I check out a vibe and I see it, I'm like, all right, what music goes with this vibe? Luckily for me, again, I was exposed to this type of music and culture by my friends in Los Angeles. But what's been the coolest thing about me is I'm from Kansas,
Mm.
and the EDM scene in Kansas City or Kansas, you know, it's getting there. It's not nothing. I will say that I'm
Yeah.
very happy that there is some sort of scene here.
Something's better than nothing.
Exactly. But like here, people listen to hip hop, people listen to country, and EDM is starting to grow just a little bit. But with a lot of my friends here, a lot of them were kind of curious about it. They're
Mm.
very curious about, okay, what is this EDM? What is raving? And so I was able to take a decent amount of them to Coachella.
Ooh, nice.
Because I figured like, okay, you have all types of genres into music. But then Coachella usually has a pretty good amount of EDM performers, EDM producers.
Definitely.
And so once they went to that, then they were hooked. And
Mm.
then I was like, ooh,
Then the
okay.
next step is EDC.
Yeah, well, so we went to Coachella, and then there was a festival here in Kansas City called Breakaway that did a few years. And then we all went to Ultra. But like now they all think of me as like the EDM expert or whatnot, even though I'm just like I'm still fairly new in this industry. But then they just I don't know, they like the music that I like, which I think is a big part of being a DJ is trying to be able to read what people may like based on like who you're playing music to.
Oh,
And
100%.
so, yeah, so whenever we're like pre-gaming or whenever we're just like hanging out, everyone just seems to entrust me with being with the ox. Like,
Yeah,
who's got the
the
ox?
playlist,
Guys,
you know?
give it to Z. He's got the ox. And that's been the thing with me for a long time, even in college. And obviously, I was playing probably more hip hop
Mm.
back then. When I was in the fraternity, I was kind of the DJ. I was just playing the right tunes, and everyone entrusted me because whenever you play a certain tune and you get a certain reaction from the crowd, you get a little bit of a dopamine boost, but people also give you a little bit of that validation to be like, okay, he knows what he's doing. So that's kind of how I got started. Um, DJing myself, like learning the controllers was actually easier than I thought because DJing is just learning four counts,
Yeah.
learning framing.
Oh
And
man.
I have a, like my I have like a little bit of a dance experience because I danced in college, and so
Mm.
I know all about four counts and I know all about framing. So it kind of came natural to me. And I love it. I'm actually DJing Kentucky Derby party on Saturday.
Oh,
So that's gonna
nice,
be a
man.
different vibe. But yeah, no, I mean, I love it. But again, producing, that's how you, I want to be able to play my music that I make that
Uh,
people like. So I'm
yeah.
hoping to bridge that gap fairly soon. But no, no relative
Yeah.
rush.
Yeah. I think the biggest feedback is when you play your own tracks and when you're DJing and then you see the crowd reaction. That's like the ultimate feedback. You know what I'm saying? Because you get feedback from me or anybody else in the community, and you can say, "Oh, it's good or not," but how does it feel to the crowd? Because
Yeah,
that's your main audience, I think.
I agree. That feeling though, like let's say you're playing a song, people don't know it's your song.
Hmm.
And then like the drop hits and people are like,
Ooh, hey, wait,
people
what's the
make that
ID?
sound like that's like one of the like the dopamine boost that you just get from that. You're like, I made
Right?
that.
When they ask you for the ID, you're like, "This is my track,
Yeah,
man."
yeah. Some DJ named Zebra. You know, what do you think?
Yeah,
Uh,
just making music.
yeah, what a great feeling too. But
Yeah.
like even just like any, because you play obviously you play other people's music, and whenever you just get a reaction, granted, like some of it might be just because everyone knows that song or nostalgia, but then you can play a song that everybody likes, but you play it at the wrong time
Hmm.
and it can just come out not right.
Oh yeah.
But if you play it at the right time and you get a reaction and you get the whole crowd vibing, the feeling that you get as a vibe curator, oh, it feels so good.
I
So
always
good.
say this about DJing, where it's like DJing is literally song selection and
Yes.
timing, but
Yeah.
producing is about sound selection.
Yeah.
So it's like we gotta just balance the two. But I want to definitely get into DJing, but I want to build my brand and music first. But DJing, it looks so amazing. I seen your videos. I seen other videos. I'm just like, I definitely got to get started sooner than later.
It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, I will say. But don't you have some CDJs and whatnot?
Oh, no, I don't. I have a controller. I don't have CDJs
Oh,
though.
okay.
I think I made a post just saying like at least the shipping is free, but it's like $15,000.
Oh, I saw that. I'm like, all right, Paulie,
No way, I
he's
can't afford
getting
that.
into
I
it.
guess I'm kind of good way to kind of question I want to ask for people that might. I hear this question a lot, like how do you get started into DJing, like
Hmm.
parties or just getting started.
Okay. So number one is someone has to trust you with dogs.
Hmm.
That's basically it. Number one. Number two, you need to have Spotify Premium or Apple Music Premium where it does not have any ads whatsoever. And two, I mean, listen, like the what is DJing? You're just playing music for everybody to hear. So you just have to be able to judge what the crowd is. You have to judge what they like and if they're vibing. If you have like, let's say you're in the room, you're playing music off your iPod, and people are just sitting there and just standing and not doing anything. Well, I'm like, all right, that's not the right song or it's not the right vibe. Or people are like, can we skip the song or let's skip the
Hmm.
next song? And that's not what you want. After that, like if you find yourself starting to get good at song selection, basically what you said, then you buy a controller. Then you
Hmm.
buy a Flex 4, which was my first controller. It was like $250 off of Guitar Center. Then you start playing around with that. You start to put together like hour sets, and then you start playing those sets at parties and see if people like it. And then eventually you want to do it live, obviously.
Hmm.
But first things first, you just have to get the hang of the controller, get the hang of specific songs and being able to transition from one song to the other and not only transition smoothly, but also keep the same vibe. Or if you want to transition to a different vibe, you have to transition in a way that is not very abrupt so that people don't notice the transition to be bad. Like people notice it, but they're like, "Oh, that was nice."
It's funny though. A
Rather than
lot of
like,
people, only DJs notice the transitions, like regular people at the party. They,
yeah, no, no,
they
yeah,
won't.
it's 1,000%. Yeah, like for me, there's been so many times where I'm like, "Oh, that could have been smoother," and then the party was like, "Dude, like I had no idea." I'm
Yeah.
like, I know. It's just the way it is.
So I know on your social media you do a lot of side quests. Can you little talk about that? Because they're super interesting. They're so funny. Like, how'd you get started in that?
Yeah, so there's an issue with having too many hobbies for
Mm,
me because like I just go from one hobby and then like I get tired of it and then I go into another hobby. So
Mm.
all throughout my life, I've I don't know, I've just like lived, and as cheesy as it sounds, I've been fortunate enough to be able to live my life to its fullest. Like if you talk about where I came from, I was born in the Philippines. Um, and I mean, third world country, it's just I wouldn't call it poverty, but if you saw where I grew up compared to like where we're at now, where my family is not or is at now, rags to riches, it's just like one of those things. And so I've noticed from that, ever since moving to America, I've lived a life that's kind of just been, I don't know, unique because I mean, you move from the Philippines to the middle of Kansas. Like who does that?
Yeah.
My family did
Yeah.
that. And then I moved from Kansas to this small town in Iowa where I was literally the only Asian guy in my entire high school. And my high school was, my graduating class was going to be 30 people, Paulie.
Oh
30.
wow. Super small.
Extremely small. And so I've, been exposed to that life and like all the things and caveats and nuances when it comes to living in a small town. And then we moved to Texas. That's where I graduated high school. And then from Texas, I go back to college. I've just moved around a lot to where I've just been exposed to all kinds of different experiences. Like I lived in LA for 4 years, and that's definitely the biggest city that I've lived in. And to be quite frank, like that's when my world was, I don't know, opened up, my eyes opened up to just a whole new world.
So-
Um, and so I look back at my life and I'm like, I lived a decently interesting life. Like I wonder if people are like interested in the stuff that I do. And so I just started listing all the just the quirky, nerdy things that I did.
Mhm.
Like I did a yo-yo show. Like
Yeah.
who does a yo-yo
Yo,
show in front of like 100 people? This
yeah,
nerdy
yeah.
guy does. My first career out of college was a sports anchor. And then, so I did that for a little bit, but then they had me do the weather. I'm like, I've never done the weather, but that sounds
Yeah.
like fun. So I did that and I happen to have tapes. The good thing about being a videographer was you kind of document things. You kind of document your life. I like to document my life either through a phone or through a video camera. And so I'm just finding old videos that I'm like, I think people might be able to find that interesting. We can use that for content. And so, yeah, I have like a list of 40 things that I might be able to put out. But it's also a way for people to kind of get to know me a little bit
No,
because,
that's
and that's what like Justin said is basically, you're gonna have music content in your profile. But that's not necessarily why people follow you. They want to follow you because of the person or
yep.
the personality
They want to
or
feel
the
connected to you.
exactly,
That's
right?
what it is.
And so once people like see me, they're like, what an interesting cat. Like he does yo-yo tricks. Like
Does
he
the weather.
does the weather. He was like on a Jubilee game show. Like there was a dating show that I was on that I'll post at some point in
Oh,
the
I'm
future.
down to watch that one. That one's interesting.
That, yeah, like, and so it's just, I don't know. I like to just try new
Mhm.
experiences. And I think I like to inspire people to do the same because, I mean, that's what life is about, man. You just got to try something that
Mm,
makes you uncomfortable. So, yeah, I'm
100%.
hoping that that kind of inspires people a little bit, but I'm also at the same time like, hope people find it entertaining because it's not necessarily music related, but it's Zaldy related, it's Zebra related. So that's kind of how that came about.
Oh, dude, that's amazing. I can't, I'm so excited to watch the future episodes or
Yeah.
future reels you got going on. And
Thanks,
like
man.
what
I
you said,
appreciate
where
it.
just try new things because it gets
Yeah.
boring, it gets stale doing the same thing over and over and over. Like
Yeah. I
life
mean, you
isn't
can,
just about going to work and coming home. Like
yeah,
go on that trip, go to that festival, go watch that show, like go,
exactly,
go on
man.
that
Like,
jet ski or go on that boat, whatever it is. Like life's all about
yeah,
trying new things and experiencing new things.
like, YOLO is like kind of a meme now,
Yeah,
but at the same time, like,
there's a
you,
hard truth behind it though.
yeah, dude,
You only
like
live
you
once.
only live
You only live
once, man.
once.
Like, we're only here for a limited amount of time. Why not take advantage of it and just use your time efficiently and just try things that you you'd never see yourself trying. Now, granted, like my path has been in a way to where like, I don't have kids.
Mm.
Otherwise, I would be able to do this. So like, I
I
don't
feel
want to like discourage or sound like if people, who are having families and all that, like once you have that, that is your priority. And so
yeah.
once I have that, like side quests done. That's main
No,
quest.
new
That's
side
main
quest.
quest.
New
No,
side quest.
that's a
Family.
main quest.
Yeah,
Like
I
like we're not doing side quests. I have a main quest, and that is my main quest. But until then, like why not, And for I don't know if music is a side quest or a main quest. I'm still kind of trying to figure
Mm,
that out, to be quite honest. But I don't know, man. I'm just on this journey that like I just go with the flow.
yeah.
I'm a big go with the flow guy. Wherever life takes me, I just roll with it. And I really can't complain to where my life has taken me so far. So
Yeah.
if it's not
Okay.
broken, don't fix it.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. Like for me, I don't have any kids or anything. I'm
Yeah,
gonna ride this out for however long it goes and see where
exactly.
it takes me. If it
Yeah,
leads
that's
me
what I'm
like,
saying.
it's not gonna lead me nowhere because I'm always meeting people and trying
Yeah.
new things and everything's been cool. So
No, I mean, once you have kids, you can't go to Coachella like you did?
uh you'd be surprised.
Yeah, I know. There are people that
I
get
have
there.
friends where they have kids and they get a babysitter,
Oh, wow.
get their
Okay.
mom to babysit them or something. So it all
That's fair.
depends. It all depends.
Did you go weekend one or weekend two?
I went weekend one and it was so amazing.
Okay. Were you in the camp? Do you camp too,
I
right?
camped this year and
Okay.
I mean, it's not so bad. It was kind of
Yeah.
hot, but it wasn't so bad. You kind of just deal with it. Like the more I complain, what's going to
Obviously.
happen? It's going to get colder.
Yeah.
No, right?
Yeah. Were you in that long line though?
Oh my, we got in line at 1 o'clock and didn't get in till around 10:15. So it was about 9 hours just waiting in that long line. It's the Chris Lake effect.
Is
Because
that
he
what
was
it
weekend
is?
one at the
Yeah.
campsite. I blame him.
Wow, I never really thought of that because like I've been to Coachella before, but I've never camped, so I don't really know what the camping experience is like. And I know they have performers at campsites. But is that a norm to where day
No.
one, weekend one, that you just have that really long line to be able to get in?
No, definitely not. Because I went before this one. I went 2 years ago, and we did camp. And
Yeah.
going in, maybe like in 2, 3 hours at most.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's Chris Lake. I mean, one of the biggest DJ producers out
Yeah,
there. He's
yeah.
probably the GOAT in my opinion.
Yeah, whoa,
I
all
think he's the
right.
GOAT. I'm gonna say it.
What a
I'm gonna
statement.
say it right now.
Paulie
And
Beats. Okay.
yeah, it's him, and just 9 hours to get in. At least we're while we're setting up, he was like maybe like an hour, like finishing up his set. I
Okay.
mean, we were there. It was a vibe, but the
Okay.
whole Coachella was just amazing. Like best act, I would have to say, Sammy Virgie. I'm not sure if you're into
Wow. No
just the
way.
vibes in just the vibes at Sahara tent where you're spinning at.
Yeah.
Like barely any phones. Everyone's just vibing like
Ooh.
crazy.
I love, first of all, I love Coachella. And I know it's kind of just a cool thing for people to make fun of it. I'm just like, I think you wouldn't see that from me, man. Because once you go, people that make fun of it are the ones that haven't gone yet, or like decent amount of it. But once you go, you kind of just see it because I've been to a lot of music festivals and Coachella is it's just a different vibe, in my opinion. It's just like you're in a huge ass grass field
hmm
and like the art is different. They even had is it the Quasar
Oh,
stage?
Quasar, yeah, the Quasar
That's
stage.
new.
That's new.
I wish it was there when I went. Obviously you have the Sahara tent. But then like I don't know. I saw Zed perform with the Philharmonic, and I was definitely jealous. The main thing I was jealous was Green Day, because I think I
Mhm.
mentioned it before. Like I've
Yeah,
never seen them live. I actually saw, like, I watched their live set twice,
both weekends.
both weekends. Yeah, both weekends. And I'm like, man, I hope to see them one day, please. He sounds exactly the same, man. It's
Oh, I saw the
crazy.
live stream too. I didn't go to weekend one, but weekend two, I saw the live stream and I
Yeah,
was like, they sound exactly like they were
yeah.
like junior high.
And they rock too, man. Like this is like you talk about the old school type of rock environment. I don't think I've really experienced that ever. Because like I said, I've never been to like Vans Warped Tour
Oh,
or
you
any
never.
of
I
that.
was just about to ask you if you've ever been to a Warped Tour.
No. And then I know in Vegas they kind of have an was when we were young type
Uh,
festival that have a lot of punk rock artists. Like I wanted to go to that one too, but I've never been to an actual real rock concert.
they're actually
So
having a Warped Tour reunion in Long Beach in LA or in California. I think it's coming up soon. I don't know if you're trying to come out here.
I could be convinced, man, because I want to make it to LA at least once a year just to be able to see my friends too. But um, I want to go there for a reason. So I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna look
definitely
that
look
up.
that up.
I hope to see like some good people playing, but I'm sure like whatever it is, I'd be down for it.
Yeah, I
So
think no matter who it is, you're gonna have a great time. That's how I feel with
yeah,
any music festival. I don't care who's
yeah,
playing. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm here, embrace the moment, just have
yeah.
fun.
What's your favorite music festival that you've gone to?
Oh man, I've been to a lot.
Yeah,
I think the most amazing, just because I love like EDM house music, is EDC Vegas.
I
Because I've been to
agree.
the one in LA actually when it first started, and it's
Okay,
cool, it's
yeah,
something new. But once you walk down those bleacher steps and you see EDC
yeah,
with all the lights, all the big stages and everything, and the people, I'm just like, this is amazing. The production is
yeah.
insane.
You're just in a different world
That's
for
exactly what
those
Sammy said too. It's
for
transferring
those
to a
three
different
days.
world.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is because 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. for 3 days, you don't feel normal.
You're not supposed to.
No. And so it feels like you're just completely immersed into something that is not of this earth. So I agree with you. At least my that's probably my favorite American festival. I've only been to one non-American one, and it's Tomorrowland.
Oh, you
And
actually been there?
like
Pretty good.
that's that's a different monster. Like you talk about completely different world during the day. Their stage designs, along with kind of just the whole layout of the fairgrounds, like you're not on Earth. You're not in Belgium, which is where it is. You're not in Europe. You are in Tomorrowland, and you
Mm.
just forget sometimes that you are at a music festival because of how immersive everything is. So, highly suggest if you love this music, you too. All they
Bucket,
have is house music.
yeah, bucket list
Like
for me, man.
90% is house music,
Bucket
man.
list for me.
Yeah, I was trying to find dubstep. It was hard for me to find dubstep, man. You would absolutely love it because the people, I mean, you just meet people from all around the world, all the same good vibes as you would have with any American festival, but just house music all day, man. If you ever get a chance to do it, Paulie, I highly,
Oh,
highly suggest.
definitely on
It's
my bucket list.
it's not as expensive as you might think, too.
Mm.
I think about it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. But EDC, it's his favorite so far. But I know also like when you're in Europe, out of country, it's a totally different vibe.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Yeah, I agree. And
So,
the only bad, like, not, I wouldn't say only bad thing is like the language barrier. Because
mm,
for me, like, whenever I see someone that I'm vibing with, like, I kind of want to talk to them, just be like, oh, I love this type of music. Like, who do you like? There, you just don't know if they know English.
yeah, yeah, you gotta
Um,
try.
yeah, I mean, they do. I mean, for the most part, I think the whole world kind of knows
Yeah.
English in some way, shape, or form. But they like had to think about it and then accents sometimes it's hard to
Hmm.
hear, especially with how loud the music is. But again, like top down, that's probably my favorite festival that I've been to like ever. So highly suggest
Yeah, Tomorrowland definitely, definitely in the future. I don't know about anytime soon, but
it.
maybe in a couple years we'll be playing there, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say next time I go back, I
We
hope
gotta
that
work hard. We gotta work a
record with
lot
you.
harder if we're trying to get on Tomorrowland lineup.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, first Miami Music Week.
Yeah,
We'll make that
definitely
happen
Miami
first.
Music Week. I definitely want to meet all the Cosmic fan, Justin, Zach,
Yeah.
everybody. All right, cool. I guess I just want to kind of end here with one last
Sure.
thing. Like what do you want to plug anything? What do you have coming up? Any like music, gigs, or anything you want to plug in just to share with everybody?
So, I mean, I want to have a show in Kansas City like I did in Irvine. So I'm hoping to work with an event production, but we find a venue.
Mm.
then it'll be like a pop-up show. I'm hoping to do it this year, but if not, early next year. But that's kind of just something to look out for because if you were there in Irvine and if you were in that show, if you went to that show, you know the vibe, like this how special that vibe was. And I feel like I can bring that to Kansas City. So I'm hoping to have a show like that. But other than that, man, like I'm hoping to possibly open for a few DJs here in Kansas City. And then I'm gonna hope continue to work on music and hopefully get some stuff out, get some stuff signed, and hopefully I'm saying hopefully a lot. We're gonna let's just like
No,
we're gonna do
you will get
our
signed.
best.
You
Yeah,
will
we're
play that
gonna get
show.
signed. We'll get these gigs, and you will see Zebra and Striped Out everywhere. I'm coming out with new apparel too. Obviously, I'm kind of wearing some stuff now. A lot of it is like zebra print for obvious
Oh
reasons.
yeah, plug in. I know you have a clothing line out or merch
Yeah,
out. Plug that in.
which is kind of crazy. Yeah, so zebramusic.com. It's very loud. It's very music festival
Mm.
oriented type of apparel, but we're gonna be coming out with some newer stuff that's a little bit more minimalistic that you will wear not at a festival, like you will actually wear every day. And we're gonna come out with a hat too. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, man, I'm excited to see where this podcast ends up. Excited to see who's gonna be on this podcast. And I just want to thank you for having me, man. This has been a lot of fun, and God, I just love talking music to people. So I appreciate you bringing me on board.
No, man, I love that you're on here. I just started this not too long. I mean, you're only the fourth episode, so
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see where this podcast leads. And who knows? I mean, maybe I'll get Zach or Justin on this in the future.
Oh,
That'd be
that's
amazing,
next
right?
level. That's Lex
Yeah.
next
So we'll
level.
see
You're
where
gonna
it
have a
goes,
lot of
man.
eyes on that one. Yeah.
But man, thank you so much, bro. And then yeah, thanks for being on here, bro. Let's see where this takes us.
Yes. And thanks for having me,
Yeah.
Paulie. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
cool.